Good evening, everyone. This is Victor Echo 6 Hotel Foxtrot calling the Alberta Public Service Net. This is a directed net and is organized for the public service and convenience of all radio amateurs and is part of the national traffic system. Single sideband and CW will be recognized. This net meets daily at 0130 UTC on or about 3700 kilohertz. All stations except CW, please zero beat this frequency. And CW stations, please position your carrier down approximately 800 hertz so we can receive a nice clear tone. Any station having emergency traffic while this net is in session will be recognized by giving a double break and then identifying themselves to net control. Your net control this evening is Victor Echo 6 Hotel Foxtrot. My name is Ryan, Romeo Yankee Alpha November, and I'm located 34 kilometers south of Camrose at Red Deer Lake near Farintosh, Alberta. Tonight, we are live streaming via YouTube. This can be found by a simple YouTube search of the Alberta Public Service Net, APSN, and today's date of April 11th, 2024. So starting things off, do we have any net bulletins or announcements this evening? Is there any word of sick or hospitalized amateurs or silent keys? Are there any mobile, portable, or QRP stations that wish to check the net this evening?
V6 Echo Sierra Alpha.
Good evening, Dawn. Victor Echo 6 Echo Sierra Alpha.
Good evening to you, Ryan, and I'm QRU at In and Out for me. Thank you. Have a good evening.
And QRU and In and Out is fine. Thanks for checking, Dawn. Any further check-ins, mobile, portable, or QRP? Any check-ins, mobile, portable, or QRP? Does anyone wish to list traffic or make a station-to-station call? And nothing heard. We'll now move into the sections. And just a reminder, if you plan to leave early, give me the heads up. So if someone's looking for you later on, we know that you've already left. So starting Thursday, we're going to start taking check-ins from Edmonton to Calgary. Sorry, Red Deer to Calgary. Any check-ins are Red Deer to Calgary.
Victor Echo 6 Hotel Papa Yankee.
Good evening, John. Victor Echo 6 Hotel Papa Yankee.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's legal. I'm just a mile north of the county of Red Deer, so I hope that's going to work. Anyway, no other traffic.
Oh, you're just fine. Thanks for checking, John. Appreciate it. Any further check-ins are Red Deer to Calgary.
Victor Echo 6 Golf Kilo.
Victor Echo 6 Golf Kilo. Good evening.
Good evening, Angeles Rick. We're in Calgary. No traffic. Early out, please.
Okay, great. Thanks for checking, Rick. Any further check-ins, Red Deer to Calgary?
Victor Echo 6 Fox Lima Hotel.
Victor Echo 6 Foxtrot Lima Hotel. Good evening, Dave.
Yeah, good evening, Ryan, and all aboard net. I have no traffic from Empress, over.
And nothing from Empress is fine. Thanks for checking. Any further check-ins, Red Deer to Calgary?
VA6 okay.
VA6 okay. Good evening, Dale.
Yeah, good evening. Nothing to report from my station here tonight. Not a bad day here, but the wind keeps blowing. 73.
Yeah, it's fairly windy here as well. Thanks for checking, Dale, and 73. Any further check-ins, Red Deer to Calgary? Victor Echo 6 Juliet Hotel Kilo. Good evening, Jim.
Yeah, good evening. Checking in a little bit early, but heading up for supper there, so I'll be out for a while. Jury.
Sounds great. Enjoy your supper. Any further check-ins, Red Deer to Calgary?
Victor Echo 6 Juliet Romeo.
And good evening, Jim. Victor Echo 6 Juliet Romeo.
Good evening to yourself, Ryan, and all aboard. It was a good day in Coronation. It started to cool off a little bit, but I'm sure we'll have another nice day tomorrow. Take care.
Yeah, the weather is sure nice. I think this weekend's supposed to get up to 15 or 20 degrees. Thanks for checking, Jim. Any further check-ins? Red Deer to Calgary.
Victor Alpha 6, Romeo Lima Bravo.
Victor Alpha 6, Romeo Lima Bravo. Good evening, Richard.
Good evening to you and everyone else on frequency, and no traffic for my station.
And thank you for checking. Any further check-ins? Red Deer to Calgary. Any check-ins? Calgary.
The 6 Juliet Mike Bravo.
And there's someone I haven't heard in a while. Good evening, Jim.
Yeah, good evening, Ryan. And in that day, sounding good tonight into Calgary. I have no traffic here from my location. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for checking. You have a nice loud signal into my station, and I hope you're feeling better. Any further check-ins? Calgary.
6 Papa Radio.
Victor Echo 6, Papa Radio. Good evening.
Good evening, Ryan. No traffic, but I'm watching you operate on YouTube. Go ahead.
This sounds great. Thanks for checking, Doug, and I'm glad I have a fan on YouTube. Any further check-ins? Calgary.
Thanks, Ryan. Tango Whiskey Papa.
Good evening, Terry. Victor Echo 6, Tango Whiskey Papa.
Good evening, Ryan. No traffic from my station in West Calgary tonight. Thank you very much.
And thank you very much for checking. Any further check-ins? Calgary.
Comment.
Go ahead, comment.
What's your page name, Ryan?
So if you go to YouTube, just type in Alberta Public Service Net and today's date of April 11th, 2024, and then just scroll down the list and you should find it no problem.
Okay, I will look for that.
Sounds great. Any further check-ins? Calgary.
Victor Alpha 6, Bravo Mike Kilo.
Good evening, Brad. Victor Alpha 6 at Bravo Mike Kilo.
Yeah, brother, Calgary got no traffic.
And thank you for checking, Brad. Any further check-ins? Calgary.
Victor Echo 6, Delta Romeo Lima.
Victor Echo 6 at Delta Romeo Lima. Good evening.
Good evening, and we have no traffic.
And thanks for checking with no traffic, Dave. Have a great evening. Any further check-ins? Calgary. Okay, I'm going to have to go out on a limb on this one. Was that Echo Bravo Foxtrot?
Bravo Lima Charlie.
Oh, I was way off. Victor Echo 6 at Bravo Lima Charlie. Good evening. And you have your early out. Thanks for checking, Brian. Any further check-ins? Calgary.
Victor Echo 6 Lima Romeo.
And there's Lindsay. Good evening.
Yeah, real good evening, Ryan. Good evening to everybody on net tonight. QRU, and I'll be around. Have a very good net.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for checking in, and I appreciate the help later on. Any further check-ins? Calgary. Last call for Calgary before we move on. Okay, we'll move into Southern Alberta.
Victor Alpha 6, Charlie Whiskey Mike.
Victor Alpha 6, Charlie Whiskey Mike. Good evening, Clark.
Good evening, Ryan. Yeah, no traffic from that.
And thank you for checking for Medicine Hat. Any further check-ins? Southern Alberta.
Victor Echo 6, Hotel November in Clarkston.
Victor Echo 6 Hotel in November. Good evening, Larry.
Good evening. We have no traffic. Thank you.
And no traffic's fine. Thanks for checking. And there was a CW station in there. Okay, we acknowledge a Victor Echo 6, a Yankee Hotel Kilo. Yankee X-Ray Hotel, a QRU on QRT. Thanks for checking. Okay, any further check-ins? Southern Alberta. Okay, thanks for checking, Bomb and Antoinette. Victor Echo 6, ARR and AYR. Have a great evening. Any further check-ins? Southern Alberta.
Victor Echo 6, Bravo Golf Romeo.
Victor Echo 6, Bravo Golf Romeo. Good evening, Barry.
Good evening, Ryan. I signal into Lethbridge. No traffic.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for checking. Any further check-ins, Southern Alberta?
Victor Alpha 6, Romeo Oscar Delta.
I believe that was Victor Alpha 6, Romeo Oscar Delta. Good evening.
VA6ROD returning. Good evening to everybody. No traffic from that.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for checking, Rod. Appreciate it. Any further check-ins, Southern Alberta? A last call for Southern Alberta before we move on. Okay, we'll flip the chair around and go north. Let's start off in Northwest Alberta.
Victor Echo 6, X-ray Echo.
Victor Echo 6, X-ray Echo. Good evening, Lee.
Very good evening, Ryan. I have no traffic coming from the county Grand Prairie. I'd like an early out, please.
And you have your early out. Thanks for checking. Any further check-ins, Northwest Alberta?
Victor Alpha 6, Charlie Whiskey.
Victor Alpha 6, Charlie Whiskey. Good evening.
Good evening and no traffic. Thanks, Ryan.
And thank you, Mark, for checking. Any further check? Echo 6, Alpha Charlie Romeo. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. No traffic from the Sexsmith area.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for checking from Sexsmith. Have a great night, Jim. Any further check-ins, Northwest Alberta?
Victor Echo 6, Kilo Delta.
Victor Echo 6, a Kilo Delta. Good evening, Dave.
Good evening, Ryan. Ryan and I have no traffic here from certain counties. That's right.
And 73 to you as well. Any further check-ins, Northwest Alberta?
Victor Echo 6, Foxtrot Tango.
Victor Echo 6, a Foxtrot Tango. Good evening, Hubert.
Yeah, and a good evening to you, Ryan, and the rest of the net, and especially to Pat, Victor Alpha 7 X-ray, who I am given to understand is listening to the net. No other traffic, and I'll be here.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for checking, Hubert, and I appreciate the help later on. Any further check-ins, Northwest Alberta? How about Northeast Alberta?
Victor Echo 6, Zulu Oscar.
Victor Echo 6, Zulu Oscar. Good evening, Bob.
Good evening. No traffic on the Slave Lake.
And thanks for checking from Slave Lake. Any further check-ins, Northeast Alberta?
Victor Alpha 6, Alpha Tango Charlie.
Victor Alpha 6, Air Traffic Control. Good evening.
Good evening, right back at you. No traffic from Westlaw County, and I think I got to take an early out here tonight.
Okay, I'll mark you down accordingly. Thanks for checking, Aaron. Any further check-ins, Northeast Alberta?
Victor Echo 6, Juliet Yankee.
And good evening, Dawn.
Yeah, I just want to let you know that Brian B6XX is out fixing farm equipment, so he wanted to be checked in tonight. And as Hubert said, a special hello to Pat, BA7XX, who is listening all the way from Quito, Ecuador.
Oh, wow, that's a long ways away. Sounds great. Well, I'll definitely put Brian in the log here.
Thank you. And we do have traffic for George V6 Alpha Delta Mike from Brian if George checks it later.
Okay, I will keep an ear out for him. Okay, thanks again for checking. We'll carry on. Do we have any check-ins in the northern section, Alberta? Did we miss anyone in northern Alberta? Okay, this is the Alberta Public Service Net, Victor Echo 6 Hotel Foxtrot Net Control. Moving into Edmonton. Do we have any check-ins, Edmonton?
Victor Echo 6, Juliet, Quebec.
Victor Echo 6, Juliet, Quebec. Good evening.
Good evening. Hello, fine friend number one. No traffic. Hear you. Nice signal from about.
Okay, great. Thanks for checking, Hines. Appreciate it. Any further check-ins, Edmonton? Victor Echo 6, Oscar Bravo. Good evening.
Good evening. No traffic and an early out, please.
And you have your early out. Thanks for checking, Ian. And I think I heard Victor Echo 6, a Whiskey Victor in there. Good evening, Wayne.
Yeah, good evening. Nothing reported just then. It's 7-3.
And 73 to you as well. Any further check-ins, Edmonton? Good evening, Len. Victor Echo 6 at Lima Whiskey Foxtrot.
Yeah, good evening, Ryan, and everyone listening. I have no traffic from Strathcona County.
And nothing from Strathcona County is fine. Thanks for checking. Any further check-ins? Edmonton. Check-ins, Edmonton area.
Victor Echo 6, Delta Hotel Echo.
Victor Echo 6 at Delta Hotel Echo. Good evening.
Good evening, Ryan. Strong signal into the Beaumont area as always. Great job. Back to you.
Yeah, and you're 20 over 9 into my station here. You're doing a great job coming in as well. Any further check-ins, Edmonton area? Okay, let's move into Edmonton to Red Deer.
Victor Alpha 6, November, Juliet Kilo.
Victor Alpha 6 and November Juliet Kilo. Good evening, Jim.
Good evening, Ryan, and everyone on that. No traffic appointments for tonight. Thank you.
And thank you for checking from Lloydminster. And there was a station underneath, Jim. Go ahead.
Good evening, Ryan. Victor Alpha 6, Charlie Hotel Kilo.
Well, good evening, Chuck. Victor Alpha 6 at Charlie Hotel Kilo.
I hope everything is well with you and everybody. I have no traffic from Donalda tonight.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for checking from Donalda. Any further check-ins, Edmonton to Red Deer?
Victor Echo 6, Mike Echo X-ray.
Victor Echo 6 and Mike Echo X-ray. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, Ryan, and everyone on the net. No traffic from Wainwright.
And thank you for checking from Wainwright. Any further check-ins, Edmonton to Red Deer?
Victor Echo 6, Charlie Alpha Hotel.
Victor Echo 6 at Charlie Alpha Hotel. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Ryan. Nothing from Fabian tonight.
And no news is good news. Thanks for checking. Any further check-ins, Edmonton to Red Deer? The last call for Edmonton to Red Deer before we move on. How about a Red Deer area, east and west?
The 6 Delta Delta Delta.
And good evening, Darcy. Victor Echo 6 at Delta Delta Delta.
Good evening. No traffic from Rocky, and I will be here till the end.
Okay, nothing from Rocky's fine, and thanks for your help. We'll call on you momentarily. Any further check-ins, Red Deer area, east and west? Okay, nothing heard. Did we miss anyone in Alberta?
Victor Echo 6, Juliet Whiskey.
Victor Echo 6 at Juliet Whiskey. Good evening, Neil.
Good evening. Nothing to report except they do have an LTE connection. Somewhere off the coast of Oregon.
Okay, you're doing some DX tonight here into Alberta. Thanks for checking, Neil. Appreciate it. Any further check-ins, later missed Alberta?
Victor Echo 6, Whiskey Golf Bravo.
Victor Echo 6, Whiskey Golf Bravo. Good evening.
Good evening. 13 degrees and nice day. No traffic. Thank you.
And thank you for checking. Appreciate it, Walter. Any further check-ins, later missed Alberta? Later missed Alberta.
Victor Alpha Lima.
Victor Echo 6, Victor Alpha Lima. Good evening, Gordon.
Good evening. No traffic.
And thanks for checking with no traffic. Any more, later Mr. Alberta? Okay, nothing heard. This is Victor Echo 6 Hotel Foxtrot with the Alberta Public Service Net and live streaming to YouTube. We're going to move into Saskatchewan. Do we have any of our Saskatchewan friends wishing to check this evening?
VE5 Mike United.
VE5 Mike United. Good evening, John.
Good evening. We also had a great day over here. Couple flats. A little breezy, but not too bad. Anyway, no traffic from here, over.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for checking. Any further check-in, Saskatchewan?
Victor Echo 5, Bravo, India.
Victor Echo 5, Bravo, India. Good evening.
Yes, good evening, Ryan. Yeah, you got 20 over 9 signal down nice day today, and we have no traffic.
Yeah, it's nice to see the weather changing. Thanks for checking, Ken. Appreciate it. Any further check-ins at Saskatchewan?
V5 Victor Golf.
And good evening, Garth, at Victor Echo 5 Victor Golf.
Good evening, Ryan. I have no traffic for now.
And nothing for net is great. Thanks for checking. Any further check-ins, Saskatchewan? Do we have any Manitoba stations with us this evening?
Victor Echo 4 X-ray India.
Victor Echo 4 X-ray India. Good evening.
Good evening, Ryan. Where QRU?
And QRU is great. Thanks for checking, Joe. Any further check-ins, Manitoba? And Victor Echo 4 Delta Romeo Charlie. Good evening, Dale. We have you in the log with no traffic. Thanks for checking. Any further check-ins, Manitoba? Any check-ins east of Alberta?
Victor Echo 6 Charlie Fox, portable VE3.
And good evening, Cliff. Victor Echo 6 at Charlie Fox, portable 3.
Ironically enough, I do not, I repeat, not have any traffic. But anyway, another check mark for you. This is the Charlie Fox, portable VE3. Good evening.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for checking, Cliff. You have a nice readable signal tonight. Any further check-ins east of Alberta? Okay, nothing heard. We'll move way up north and ask for check-ins Alaska, Yukon, Northwest Territories, or Nunavut. Any check-ins Alaska, Yukon, Northwest Territories, or Nunavut? Do we have any of our American friends with us this evening? Any check-ins from the USA?
November 9, Lima Yankee, no traffic.
November 9, Lima Yankee. Thanks for checking. Appreciate it. Any further check-ins at US of A?
Whiskey 7 Delta Golf, Mike.
A Whiskey 7, a Delta Golf, a Mike. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Anthony here in Lincoln, Montana. Good evening to you all, and QRU.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks for checking your S9 into my station. Beautiful signal. Any further check-ins at US of A? Okay, nothing heard. We'll move into British Columbia. We'll start on Vancouver Island. Any check-ins Vancouver Island? Do we have any check-ins at Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley, Sunshine Coast?
Victor Echo 7, Uniform Romeo, November.
Victor Echo 7, Uniform Romeo, November. Good evening, Bruce.
Yeah, good evening, Ryan, and all on board the net tonight in Alberta. No traffic from my station, 7-3.
And 73 to you as well. Thanks for checking. Any further check-ins, Vancouver Island, Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley, Sunshine Coast? Victor Echo 7, Hotel Delta, Quebec. Good evening, Dave. And no traffic's fine. Thanks for taking the time to check. Any further check-ins, British Columbia, Vancouver Island, Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley, Sunshine Coast? Do we have any check-in Southern Interior?
Victor Echo 7, Bravo Tango Echo.
Good evening, Butch. Victor Echo 7, Bravo Tango Echo.
Good evening, Ryan. Looking good on YouTube there, 7-3.
And 73 to you as well. Thanks for checking. Any further check-ins in British Columbia? We're looking for Vancouver Island, Lower Mainland, Fraser Valley, Sunshine Coast, or Southern Interior. Victor Echo 7, X-ray Golf. Good evening, Jerry.
Good evening to you, Ryan, and we are QRU from Caramias.
And QRU from Caramias is fine. Thanks for checking. Any further check-ins? Southern Interior, British Columbia.
Victor Echo 7, Lima, Juliet, Mike.
Victor Echo 7, Lima, Juliet, Mike. Good evening, Cliff.
Good evening to all on that tonight. No traffic here in Naramata. Back to that, 73.
And 73 to you as well. Thanks for checking. Any further check-ins, Southern Interior? And there's Jason with a loud signal. Good evening.
Good evening, Ryan, and everybody else aboard. I got no traffic from the West Kootenays. I'll be around.
Okay, nothing from the Kootenays is fine. And thank you for the help later on. I'll call on you momentarily. Any further check-in, Southern Interior, British Columbia? Do we have anyone in the Central Northern BC section? Did we miss anyone in British Columbia? Oh, maybe no one else can hear me. Let's do a general call. Did we miss anyone anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net?
Victor Alpha 6, Sierra Yankee Sierra.
And Victor Alpha 6, Sierra Yankee Sierra. Good evening, Dave.
Yeah, good evening, Ryan. You're loud and clear in the Lethbridge, and I have no traffic.
And you have a nice signal into my station as well. Thanks for checking from Lethbridge. Any further check-ins? Anyone anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net?
Victor Echo 6, Kilo Juliet Alpha.
Okay, there's a couple stations in there. The winner was Victor Echo 6, Kilo Juliet Alpha. Good evening.
Good evening, no traffic.
Okay, sounds great. We have in the log with no traffic. Thanks for checking, John. And the station underneath, John, go ahead.
Victor Echo 6, Echo Bravo Mike.
Victor Echo 6, Echo Bravo Mike. Good evening, Marcia.
Good evening, sir. No traffic, sir.
And thank you for checking with no traffic. Any further check-ins later missed anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net? Last call anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net. Okay, maybe that's as much good as I can do for now. Have the relays give a call and see if we can get a few more check-ins. In the order of appearance, we'll start off with Lindsay, Victor Echo 6, Lima Romeo. Move over to Hubert, Victor Echo 6, Foxtrot Tango. Then over to Darcy, Victor Echo 6, Delta Delta Delta. Then to Jason, Victor Echo 7, Juliet Bravo Quebec. And then finally over to Dawn, Victor Echo 6, Juliet Yankee. Thanks for the help, guys. Appreciate it.
Okay, this is Victor Echo 6, Foxtrot Tango relay for the Alberta Public Service Net, looking for later missed check-ins, any direction, anywhere. One more call for later missed check-ins, any direction, anywhere, for the Alberta Public Service Net.
Victor Echo 7, Papa Bravo Foxtrot.
Victor Echo 7, Papa Bravo Foxtrot. Good evening, Frank.
Good evening, Hubert. It's sunny good display at 7-3. No traffic from Oliver.
No traffic from Oliver. One more call for later missed check-ins, any direction, anywhere, for the Alberta Public Service Net. Victor Echo 7, Charlie November Zulu. Good evening, Bill. No traffic, thank you. One more call for later missed check-ins, any direction, anywhere, for the Alberta Public Service Net. There's a station ending in Foxtrot. Try it again. 7 India Fox. Victor Echo 7 India Foxtrot. Any traffic tonight? Okay, no traffic from Mission. Thank you. Thanks, Don. One more call for later missed check-ins, any direction, anywhere, for the Alberta Public Service Net. Was that Victor Alpha 7, Lima Delta Tango? No traffic from Bowen Island. Thank you. One more call. Later missed anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net.
VE6 Echo India.
Victor Echo 6 Echo India. Do I get the pleasure of seeing you on Saturday, Joel?
Yes, I will be there. There are no table this time. I'll be at the Aries table instead. And by the way, I'm running a 10-tick Argonaut pushing out all 5 watts here. I just got it going for Howard V6 Fox Sierra.
Oh, Roger. Well, you're doing pretty good up here. Joel, so should work okay for Howard. Thanks for checking. Anyone else late or missed for the Alberta Public Service Net? All right. I believe Brian meant to pass it to you, Lindsay, but he passed it to me. At least I thought he did. So if I was wrong, I apologize. DE6LR, DE6FT.
Yeah, real good. Hubert, no worries. It's all about the participation, and we all get there. This is Victor Echo 6 Lima Romeo Relay for the Alberta Public Service Net, looking for any station in any direction. Now,
Victor Echo 6, Juliet Golf Bravo.
good evening, sir. V6JGB. Are you going to the flea market?
I will not be going to Calgary, I don't think, but I plan to head to the Edmonton one the following week.
Very good. Okay. And I trust your QRU?
Yeah, QRU from this station, late and fashionably late as always, but nevertheless, QRU, Red Deer County.
Yeah, no problem. Have a very good evening. Any other station in any other direction, APSN?
85 Bravo Whiskey here.
Victor Echo 5 Bravo Whiskey Sierra. Good evening, Blair. And I trust Jen too?
Roger, yes, she's in the shop to me here. No trucks on the boat, huh? Just got in from a nice walk, about 9 degrees. Not much of a wind. Getting ready for tomorrow. It's supposed to be windy again tomorrow. Thanks for taking my check-in and have a good evening, over.
Yeah, real good, Blair. And it's good you guys got out for a walk. Hopefully it's not too blustery tomorrow. Any other station in any direction, APSN? One more call. Any station, any direction, APSN. Over to you, Darcy, V6DDD, V6LR.
All right, thanks, Lindsay. This is Victor Echo 6 Delta 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 relaying for the Alberta Public Service Net. We're looking for later missed check-ins, any direction. Anybody anywhere for the APSN, V6DDD relay. Well, nothing heard. The 7 Juliet Bravo Quebec. Go ahead, Jason.
Sounds good there, Darcy. We'll give it a shot. This is Victor Echo 7, Juliet Bravo Quebec relay for the Alberta Public Service Net. Looking for any later missed stations in any direction. Come now. The Alberta Public Service Net is looking for any later missed stations in any direction. Come now. V6JY, it's all up to you there, Don. Over to you, V7JPQ.
Thanks, Jason. V6JY for the Alberta Net. Have we missed anyone anywhere?
Victor Alpha 6, Kilo Papa.
Good evening, Ken. V86 Killer Papa.
Good evening, Don. The new test for my seat.
Thank you for checking. Anybody else anywhere for the Alberta Net? Last call. Anybody anywhere? APSN. Back to you, Ryan.
Okay, sounds great. Thanks to all the relays for their help. I'll make one last call. Did we miss anyone anywhere for the Alberta Public Service Net? Any station, any direction for the Alberta Public Service Net? Having completed all business, I'd like to thank you all for your cooperation, your check-ins, and a special thanks to my relay stations for lending a helping hand. Tonight's relays were Victor Echo 6 at Lima Romeo, Lindsay, Victor Echo 6 at Foxtrot Tango, Hubert, Victor Echo 6 at Delta Delta Delta, Darcy, Victor Echo 6 at Juliet Bravo Quebec, Jason, and of course at Victor Echo 6 at Juliet Yankee, Don. The net will now close, and we'll turn the stations or the frequency over to regular use. Have a good night, everyone, and 73.